All right, so over here on this side, when I demonstrate, please. And so we're going to do 2 drills together here to help you with your lower body positioning. Okay, now this bag drill that I'm about to do, I did this for 2 years when I was a top coach for Golf Tech before I had my own facilities. Basically, I've had my own facilities for 15 years. Before that, I was a top coach for Golf Tech on the West Coast. I was doing the most golf lessons on the West Coast for Golf Tech, and then I went out on my own and just did my own thing because I just, I didn't really need to work for them anymore. But it was a good experience. I would say though that my lessons are a little bit more potent than Golf Tech these days. I had a student take some lessons from Golf Tech recently, and for a year, and he didn't break 100, and he saw me for 2 months and broke 100. So, I got this pinned now. But some of those coaches, they're just still learning. I would say, it's a great program, but this it's like Golf Tech on steroids now. But this drill, I'm getting off subject. This drill, I did this for about 2 years every lunch break. Okay, when I was working there, and I'd put the bag on my hip, as you'll see, to practice not swaying my hip because I also swayed years ago. I had a sway problem also. Okay. Now, you've got 2 things going on here. We've got the hip sway and we've got your knees. Your knees are moving the wrong way. See, the space between your knees is supposed to stay the same. Okay. So, what you're going to do in a moment here, see how I put the driver in the bottom of the bag like this? See how it's on my mid thigh here. Okay. In fact, actually stand on this side a moment. It'll be easier for you to see. So see, I have it on the middle of my thigh. Okay. Now, what I'm going to be doing in a moment here is as I take my club back, right? Look what happened. My hip stayed touching it. You see this? Now, the head cover is gliding from the middle of my thigh toward my left glute. Do you see that? Okay. Now, we also have to combine this. In the backswing, what you're doing is this. Ready to watch? You're moving your knee away from your other knee. Now, believe it or not, your knees are supposed to stay the same distance apart. So obviously this is going to keep them the same distance apart. If I go back here like this, look, my knees are staying the same distance apart. So if my knees stayed the same distance apart, look at my left leg now. Where's my left leg? It came in. But notice my knee came in, but not my hip. Very important. That's right. So in a moment here, what we're going to do, I'll demonstrate. I'll hit this one for you. So if you would stand back on this side again for safety purposes. Okay, watch this. Watch this. 1 second. Takes a second to get it set up. But you're going to go to the range and you're going to practice with the bag on your hip. Okay, again, I did this for 2 years and it helped me a ton with my hip because if I sway, look, I'm not touching the bag. I know it. I can feel it, right? Instead, I want to actually keep my hip on that bag. Just like this. Now, watch what just happened here. So if you would look at the TV screen and you'll see. So here I got the bag on my hip and the ball between my knees. Now look, what is my hip doing? Now look, my hip's staying left. And where's my knee going? In. You see this? So see how the knee is in, but the hip is staying over here. That's better than the hip swaying. Now, this drill, as you see, is slightly exaggerating things, but that is what we need the feeling of.